Hello and welcome to AOR F3 Hungary. I think it's the first round after the Christmas break, and I wasn't particularly feeling confident. I couldn't really, with the issues that I have with the Sauber, couldn't really get the car rotated the way I wanted to, and all throughout the practice I felt I kept being slower than other people I was racing, so I just kept pushing and pushing towards a quality setup, getting the car more and more hooked on the nose. And in the end, I didn't do that much practice on heavy fuel, so that was really my downfall in this race. But coming off the back of such an amazing result in Silverstone, such a great feeling, I couldn't use this setup here because there just wasn't enough low-speed grip with the stiff suspensions. We had to go with something else. And in qualifying, it was great. As you can see here, the front is turning in nicely, the car's rotating okay. He didn't run wide a little bit there. But it is fantastically hit and miss, bit of a knife edge. As you can see, this is the second lap of the first run, and because the first lap wasn't brilliant at 17.9, I mean that's way off. So this lap's gone a lot better. We've turned in there, missed the apex slightly and run wide. You can see it's kind of just hooking up on some places and not hooking up on others. Hit that really nicely though, got good rotation into the last couple of corners now. Car's hooked in nicely, just touched the rain gully there, bit of oversteer on the exit as a result, losing a slight bit of time, hitting that apex for the last corner nice and late, traction on early, and that is pretty decent lap. I mean the 17.5 is pretty much mid-pack, but that's P2 at the moment, but by the end of the session everyone improves as the track rubber's in, especially on this track. On this track it's huge. So here we go, final run, end of the session. Looking to improve, and I know I can. I think my PB is about a 17.3. So coming into turn 1 now, brake way too early, turn in too early, and run slightly wider than I wanted to. So as you can see, we dropped time and then started gaining it back a little bit, but it's not as much as I wanted to. Turn 2 now, and got the car hooked in quite nicely. Great traction on the exit. Nice. Coming to turn 4 now, just this is the point. You can win or lose your lap right here. Not only because it can be invalidated, but you can also lose 3 or 4 tenths by running wide or just making a corrective steering input. Did really well. Just blown it in turn 5. I mean, lost a couple of tenths there, easy. Into the middle sector now. There really is one line through here, and it's just a compromise of all these corners, trying to just hook them up nicely. A bit like Suzuka Sector 1, where you just constantly rotating the car way wide again, almost invalidated the lap there, but we are 2 tenths up. Into the last sector now. Missed that by a mile. So as you can see, the car is great in some corners and then terrible in others, but it's entirely my own fault. Coming into the last corner now, hooking that apex up, almost hooking the apex up. We never really troubled it, hooking it up late. 3 tenths up, so we've gone a 17.2, and I was like, well, yeah, that's fantastic, but I knew people were going to improve. And there we go, 17.1 for McGrady. So here we go, balls to the wall, final lap. If we invalidate, we invalidate. Picked up time in turn 1, still not an ideal turn 1, but we picked up some time, that's good. Into turn 2 now. Rolling the car in quite nicely, a little bit of mid-corner understeer as these tyres wear and start to pick up heat. Dropping time as a result, look, quite hesitant on the throttle there. Into turn 4 now. Don't cut it. Absolutely threw it in. Nailed it. Hopefully we gain some time in turn 5. But we touched the curb and that throws us off a little bit. If we hadn't touched that curb, we'd gained a couple of tenths there. As a result, we've only really gained half a tenth. Into the chicane, wasn't as good as last lap, but we still gained some time. Here we go, into the middle sector now. Get that car rotated. Whoever that is in the Renault moves out the way very kindly. Losing time though on the run up to this fast turn 11. Ooh, kind of hesitant. Turned in a little bit early, I'd say. 2 tenths up though, and we're purple. Great rotation on that curb. Literally nailed that this time. As you can see, we picked up half a tenth. Into the final corner now. Dropping time on the way in, picking that time back up on the way out. Up to 3 tenths now. Into the final corner, and we've actually taken a worse line than before. You can see we've dropped 0.8 of a tenth, really.
Come on, lads, come on! Yes!
I was very happy with the lap, I must be honest, because I was struggling so much to get the car rotated in quali, and to really get the car where I wanted it to be. To get that 17 flat, which is 3 tenths faster than I've gone in any other session, all the way up leading up to practice over the Christmas break. I was really happy with that, and I thought, you know what, this is good. Now I've got hooked up with the car at the perfect time, and 79 thousandths in front of McGrady, who ran out of fuel on his other lap. So a bit of luck there that McGrady couldn't get his lap on, but I was pretty happy with that. As embarrassing as it is, I'm willing to say that I was really happy with that. off the line now, away we go, and we've got a better start than the other guys, and we knew that this pole position was crucial if we were going to try and win this race. This was everything. If we didn't have pole, then it was just complete dud, the race was. Done well there. We braked late for turn 1, deliberately slid the car wide just to make sure we didn't get dive bombed or taken out by anyone, and it's been a really clean turn 1. It's quite impressive actually. We have pulled a little bit of time on McGrady and Mercedes, just a couple of car lengths, but as you can see here, the lack of running on high fuel is really going to kick in now and really going to start to hurt us. I think I might have been running the suspension a bit too stiff. I was definitely running the camber too high, and then I think I may be running the rear height a bit too low as well. Just a combination of all those factors, just the little things, meant that the car was so unstable on heavy fuel. Great in quality, as I've just shown, but on heavy fuel, very little confidence. And I mean, I could probably use the setup to better effectiveness if I practiced a bit more with the heavy fuel, but as you can see, double turn in there and a run wide, lovely job. And McGrady's just smelling blood. That's all he's doing right now. He's just smelling the blood, and he can say, right, okay, I know you're vulnerable. Taking a decent line into the second to last corner, but unfortunately I'm just not really thinking straight. And oh yeah, I mean, we were lucky not to lose more positions there. Just expecting the car to expecting the car to move and rotate a bit more quickly than that, but that didn't work because of the heavy fuel. Into turn 1 now, Mercedes goes to the move on Grady. I backed out a bit early thinking, you know what, I may as well not break my front wing. They're faster than me anyway, really. I'm still a bit miffed, but Mercedes gets forced to the outside, and there's a big gap there. We're going to go straight into that one. Gone straight into there, and unfortunately, listen, big smash on the left there, and all Mercedes was doing is pulling back to take his line, but of course the desync shows him to smash straight into the side of my car and push me off track. It just didn't happen on his screen, and it didn't, you know, it's ridiculous. It just didn't happen at all. So if I wasn't already rattled, that's kind of rattled me. Nothing else really happened. Those two just pulled away, and as you can see, the gap to Mercedes is 5.6 now. But here comes Jonas. Jonas has gotten through the traffic. He's flying, and we are having a muck struggle. But at this point, beautiful. Someone's taken out the 50-meter board, and Jonas has missed that and almost hit us. As we brake, we actually braked slightly early as well, because we don't know where to brake with at the board. That's unfortunate. But that was lap 10. Lap 11 now, I'm thinking, right, okay, Jonas has given us a bit of a gap. This is do or die. I'm falling away from the guys in front. I'm falling into the guys behind. I'm just going to have to do something different with the strategy. As you can see, the camber is shredding my tyres, and I'm also shredding them the way I'm driving. Look at me. I'm almost losing the car on the way into the pit lane. So I've just got to do something different. I've gone for the mediums. I'm going to say, right, okay, I can now push to the end of the race, flat out. No concerns about tyre wear at all, and that's what I need to be doing, because this tyre conservation isn't working, because I'm just not getting the time out that I need. 007 Professional and Mercedes have both gone for the same strategy, interestingly enough, but Mercedes couldn't do enough to get past, or couldn't have a fast enough outlap to get past McGrady, so McGrady stays in the lead, Mercedes in second place. But Jonas is on the soft tyres. He's pitted a few laps later than us, taking him 6 or 7 laps, but he's behind us now. And poor exit at the last corner, and here he comes. Look how close he is now. But I was saved by the fact that he didn't have a slipstream. So, as we're coming down to turn 1 now, no real move can be made. He goes to the outside, looking to get a switch back and see if he can get us down to turn 2. But he was never really close enough, so unfortunate for him that he's lost his slipstream, but it's obviously fortunate for us because we don't have to defend as hard now. But bit of oversteer off the last corner, and he's way closer than the last lap. This is really tense now. It's only 2 tenths behind me. I thought he wouldn't go for the move here, but he has. By the time I realised he has, whoop, turn away. I noticed he was there and turned straight away to open up the door for him, because I wanted to go tight into there, but he has already had his nose in there, so I couldn't do anything. I had to turn away, give him the space. Nice move by Jonas, but unfortunately it didn't come off of him. But you can see he's really starting to get impatient now, because these other guys are catching up behind him, and he needs to get past me. I'm just dead weight at the moment. And coming into the middle sector now, he's got so much more pace on those tyres, and he's just driving far better than I am. But unfortunately he hits me there. I didn't feel anything, but someone mentioned it in the chat afterwards and said, oh, Jonas hit you. And I was like, what? So I checked it, and yeah, he did smash into me there, and you can just see there he runs really wide, and 007 Professionals were all over him, as you can see, as he just runs right the way off the track. Look behind us now, and look at the gap. It's gone from 2 tenths to almost a second in a sector, so He's really struggling there, and that is unfortunate because it would only be a matter of time he'd have gone past. So 7/10 as you can see, and I think he pitted on that. I'm not sure whether he took the tyres to the end or not. Speaking of the end, it's the 35th lap. All that happened was 007 pressure on, like, we traded lap time. So I think the gap went down as low as 1.3, and I managed to pull it back out to 2.5 because I had a 3-second penalty. I was trying to pull it out to 3 seconds, but as you also saw as we clipped to the clip, the tyres were on 75%. I literally shredded them, absolutely shredded them, and people were getting like 60% on softs, so I was not doing very well. But if you just saw there, we're on the podium in P2.
That's good. That's better than I expected. Yep. That's better than I expected. Yep. Grady had better pace than me today.
This car's not safe though. No, so his red light's still on this car, but Mercedes had enough time penalties to see me move ahead of him in the standings at the end of the race. And 007 also had a 3-second penalty, so we managed to stay not only in position but gain a position over Mercedes. Unfortunately, we lost position in overall terms because we, P2 after starting P1. But having seen how McGrady and Mercedes drove this race, I nowhere near their pace. So at the end of the day, I made the mistake which let them pass, but they'd have got past anyway. It was really, writing was on the wall as soon as I was going around that first lap, and they caught me up so fast. So not a brilliant race, but a really excellent result out of it. Having not had the confidence, we got, I'd say, pretty lucky there, and got away with it, let's say. But hopefully we can do a bit better in the next one. Cheers.